Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Talk Scottish Football, episode 82, I think, I hope, I pray, where we're going to look back at the weekend's action, including a top-of-the-table clash at Ibrox. We're going to get Adam Kennedy on the phone later on, hopefully, for his views as well. Dev's with me as always. I'm introing today because Dev's getting a bit upset about having to be the intro man, because it feels like he limits that. It feels like you feel like that limits your
I would need
analyst qualities almost.
I'd need to write my intro down.
Normally there's no pressure on me because I just have to sit here and talk shit. I don't have to do anything.
Do you know what I noticed actually? The other day I was on the radio,
Oh, I saw you were, right?
Aye, the other day I was on that Go radio.
They're flying, by the way, aren't they?
They are, aye. It was absolutely brilliant. I was on for about 20 minutes, but what I noticed there is, right, see if you can get your notes going, like you can write some notes down, and there's no camera on you. It's quite easy to kind of look at your notes and talk at the same time and be much more comfortable, whereas when there's a camera, you feel like you need to like sociably be there and like look at you or like address the camera and such, whereas when you're on the radio you can just...
So is it, what we're saying is we're going to dinghy YouTube and just go full time like Spotify and podcast?
Well, if Spotify want to offer us a wee deal, then
Joe Rogan,
that'd be absolutely class.
Yeah, Happy Hour went to Spotify as well, didn't they? Yeah. The weekend was an interesting one. Lots to talk about throughout the leagues. I better just give Adam a text, but let's leave that game till we can get Adam's whereabouts.
Yeah.
And we'll start with Celtic, shall we? Because they had a very, very good win at the weekend. That I didn't see it being as comfortable as it was. I didn't watch the game, but from what I can gather, it was a very, very comfortable sort of 90 minutes for Celtic. They ended up winning the game. Did you? I'm guessing you were hoping maybe there'd be a wee slip up there.
I was, but I wasn't really anticipating them to slip up, to be fair. I thought when they went away to Pittodrie and they got the win, they kind of turned a corner. Callum McGregor and Kyogo, for me, make a huge difference to Celtic. And when they're in the team, I would always maybe fancy Celtic, especially got a place like Fir Park. And just looking at the stats, obviously I was at the Rangers game, so I never watched the game, but was just looking at the stats at half time and that, and Celtic had all the ball, making all the chances. And yeah, as you say, it looked like it was a comfortable day at the office. Seen Ange Postecoglou as well in his post-match says that
I thought the league title was over, mate.
I heard that. Heard that in the radio on the way home.
He is a comical guy, isn't he? What a goal by David Turnbull, by the way. Deary me, what a strike that is. And for a boy who's not had a great start to the season, I don't think he had a great end to last season, which means you took a bit of stick for saying on here regularly. But there's never really been any doubting he's got that quality in his locker, and he managed to deliver. The interesting thing from a Celtic point of view was there's been a lot of talk about can Tom Rogic and David Turnbull play in the same midfield, and the answer to that has generally been no. But Saturday they seemed to do that pretty well. Rogic seemed sort of back to his best, and I just think what a difference Callum McGregor makes to that team. You mentioned it there. They're like a different team when he plays, which is strange because last season he wasn't at his best. I think that was largely down to the fact he was babysitting Scott Brown most of the time, but he's done wonders this season, and I think that it was probably good for him that he got the rest against the Pharaohs, because you talk about a player that's not really had any rest for about 3 years.
Yeah.
He just plays every game, club and country, and he got that rest, which was a big thing, because obviously he was just back from injury before the international break. So, and Kyogo I think was quiet, but that's probably a really pleasing thing for Ange, is that Kyogo can be quiet and still find a way to win pretty comfortably. And Jota really looks a player. So, in an attacking sense, I think when Celtic have got the best 11 on the pitch, there's lots to be excited about. But again, the problems come, like we've seen, when there are those
absolutely
injuries.
Going forward, they look really, really good. As you say, it's more at the back that they look a wee bit shaky. But I think every team in the league at the moment are looking shaky at the back, to be fair. So,
but one guy that came in at the back line that I didn't expect to have a say this season was Bolly Willengoal. He came in at the back line, did quite well.
His only crime was being horny.
Exactly.
I've seen that on Twitter a few times.
And it's a bit mental that he's become a genuine option for Celtic at left back. You didn't see that coming.
I heard he had a good game as well, and
there
was people saying that he played well in his last outing as well. So
the strange thing is he's not in the Europa League squad though. They didn't register him for the Europa League, so I mean he might just become the sort of the league left back for the next wee while anyway. I mean Taylor's obviously injured.
Young boy Montgomery maybe, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ready to be thrown right in at the deep end.
Lad Scales as well, who can play at left back, who's not really had much of a kick yet. So the left back's a troubled position for Celtic. You've obviously tried Juranovic there as well, but he's injured as also. So
I thought the first goal, Celtic's first goal, where they broke the deadlock, the pass for Tom Rogic, as you say, he's got that in his locker. and it was inch perfect through to Jota, who's had a great start to his Celtic career. For me though, David, Liam Kelly, his positional.
I was just going to say to that, what's that all about?
He just leaves the front post up for just a pass into the net, doesn't he? Stephen O'Donnell was just like that. I
know. Stephen O'Donnell, who's obviously an international class footballer, just obviously.
And Liam Kelly's in the squad, I know.
Yeah,
so.
But the thing is about Liam Kelly is that I've always thought he'd be the next in line.
Yeah.
In terms of Scotland goalies, he's at a good age just now for that.
He's obviously got a bit to go, hasn't he?
I saw him at Tynecastle. I thought he was dreadful through there. And dreadful's probably a bit harsh, but meen a few mistakes.
He made big mistakes. We'll talk on obviously an international goalie a previous international goalie made a big mistake, but and Alan McGregor obviously, but with Alan McGregor you maybe get one of them a season at the most. Yes. Do you know what I mean? And whereas with Liam Kelly at the moment it looks like he's thrown in one every few games.
Generally, I think you could do a video on the Scotland goalie situation because I think it's a massive worry. In 2 years' time, it's going to be a huge worry.
Can Craig Gordon not just continue and just keep going?
But just from a Motherwell point of view, obviously a good start to the season, but I think they'll be a bit disappointed they didn't make it more difficult for Celtic because Fir Park's always been a bit of a difficult place for Celtic to go. Even when they've won there, it's never really been easy, but that was surprisingly straightforward. So they will be disappointed. I want to quickly move on to the Rangers game because Adam's in a bit of a rush. Do you want to connect your phone up to that? So
yeah, absolutely, mate. I will
so obviously 1-1 was the final score at Ibrox. Dev was there, Adam was there. I don't know what Adam was paying the Hearts media team, but dearie me, he was in every bit of footage I saw of the supporters.
What was that all about?
He was in every bit of footage.
That was some film, to be fair.
It was superb.
They sub a freelance videographer who makes them basically a movie for every match, and it was brilliant. It was top, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really, really good. He's got work in 10 minutes, so do you want to just fire him a call just now? We'll get his opinion before we even come to you. Before we come to your sort of post-mortem of that game. I'll be honest, I thought Rangers would win that game quite comfortably. I actually thought if there was going to be a shock, it would have been at Fir Park. But fair play to Hearts, they hang in games, don't they? They don't really, they're not going to go there and dominate the ball.
Wish there maybe been a wee bit more organised with this, David, because I can't hear it there. It's finally arrived, the Roadcaster Pro.
We should, but it's the story of Talk Scottish Football. It should maybe be more organised.
Indeed.
How many more subs would be if we had decent organisation?
Good 10,000 more.
10,000 more.
Good 10,000 more.
The FCA's.
Right, let's get Adam on the phone then.
Let's get him on the buzzer. See what he's saying. He'll be a very happy jam tart. Yeah. What about the Hearts? The PDC darts. I like that one. I've not heard that one before. Oh, that's very loud. Mate, he's picked up already.
Hello.
Oh, mate.
Oh, he said hello.
That was one ring.
You're supposed to say show me the money, you idiot.
How you doing, Adam? How's things?
I'm very well. How are you, chaps?
I'm good, mate. I'm quite good. Dev is alright.
I am. No, not that good, Adam, to be fair.
We know you're in a rush for work, so just your initial thought. Well, say your initial thoughts. You've had a wee while to reflect on the game, but how are you feeling about Saturday's game, the performance, the result, and what it means for Hearts going forward?
An absolute smash and grab, I think would be the honest word for it. First half, Rangers could have been 2-3 up pretty easily. Liquid football at times. We were just chasing shadows. Went in the game for the best part of an hour, 70 minutes, and then from there on in, Robbie makes a couple changes, and it seemed as though it would only really be us, with the exception of a Morelos sitter towards, I think it's about 83, 84 minutes.
Yeah.
That would go on and score.
That man Nielsen knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
It seems to be a running theme in Nielsen's tactics towards these games, though, to be fair. Like, the first half, they always look like the other team are absolutely over the top of them. They kind of grow into the game, and he brings on Josh Ginnelly, Adam, and he brings on Mackay Stevens, who obviously sets up the equaliser. Is that a kind of theme that Nielsen approaches games with? Does that happen often?
It's interesting you say that, mate, because now I'm starting to think if we only perform for like a half at a time at max. Sometimes we'll take the lead and immediately rest on our laurels. But in this case, we fall behind and then decide to chase the game with about half an hour to go. Yeah. So, I don't know. We've never really performed start to finish that well, bar two Tynecastle performances, I'd say, which can be quite frustrating, but obviously the results are coming, so
I think
I can't really complain.
The big positive you could take out of it, though, Adam, is towards the end it looked like Hearts were the only team that were actually going to go and get the winner. After you got the equaliser, you had a couple more attacks, and it was squeaky bum time for me, I'm not going to lie.
Definitely, mate, and I think even even before we scored, the Barry Mackay chance I thought was the one. And when I see that he could have scored for Boyce, Liam Boyce was a bit of a nuisance as well. I thought Ben Woodburn was non-existent, so I was glad to see him taken off. And it looked as though it was right changes at the right time, which I've barely said about Robbie, but this season so far, or in the past few performances, I've been able to give the gaffer some credit.
Yeah,
unbelievably.
I've said a few times that I don't think Hearts have been that great this season in terms of their individual performances in games, but that in terms of if you're going to Celtic or Rangers, you've just got to try and stay in the game as long as you can, and if you can, then you. And I've always thought this about Rangers: if you can get through the initial kind of onslaught, they will give you a chance. Not many, but you'll get a chance. This season especially, and they did get a chance. Adam, we were just talking before we phoned you. How much are you paying the Hearts media team for all that coverage you were getting at the weekend?
It's friends in high places. I'm going to give a wee shout out to the Heart videographer, my pal Jordan.
Was he your pal?
I'd worked with before, and I saw him obviously at full time. So once he had his camera out,
he's got a lot of contacts, doesn't he? He's always telling us about his contacts. You know, friends in high places. And the winning goal, that would have been some fine away day limbs, wouldn't it? I'm imagining.
Oh, I've been involved in many a Hearts limbs, but that was up there, yeah. Just because of the disbelief, I didn't even know that it was Craig Halkett that scored it. I just saw the ball in the net and just lost my shit. So for want of a better phrase, so no, it was good.
And finally, if someone had told you that on what date are we on now? The 18th of October, Hearts would be the only undefeated team in the Premiership, what would you have said?
Lay off the crack.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
So no, it's good.
Just before we let you go, because you've got work. Any thoughts about anything else that happened in the SPFL this season? Anything that caught your eye?
What with regards to the weekend?
Yeah, just anything in general.
Hibs was amusing as well. That was obviously great.
You've had a great weekend, Adam.
You've had a very good weekend.
I think at Aberdeen, the Stephen Glass experiment continues to fail. So inject that content into my veins.
Yeah.
The only real disappointment was Celtic fans, particularly the TSF contingent, actually pleased with the weekend's antics, because it seems like they're really the big kind of winners from the weekend,
they probably are,
which is disappointing, but never mind.
Perfect. It's a perfect segue because we'll probably go on to Aberdeen next. Right, Adam, you have a good day at work, mate.
Cheers, Drew.
Right, catch you later.
See you later, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we better finish off. Nice to hear from him. I mean, he knows his stuff, that boy. We better finish off with your thoughts on Rangers. And well, I'm going to go first because people blaming Alan McGregor for this result is absolutely mental, because if you talk about mistakes that were made, Morelos and the attackers in general made a lot more mistakes by not scoring more fucking goals. And how many times has McGregor, in that scenario, come out with a worldly save to win Rangers a game? Even
in that game, he popped up in key moments and he made some big saves. And Adam touched on the Barry Mackay chance. I thought that Barry Mackay really grew into the game. And he just left 3 Rangers players for dead, and he was through one-on-one with Alan McGregor.
Yeah.
He maybe needs to lift it over McGregor, but you've got to give McGregor the credit there. He rushes out to him fast and he makes a brilliant save. And there was another one as well with Liam Boyce, which ended up getting given for offside, but McGregor wasn't to know that, and I don't even think he was offside. So he made some big saves. Ultimately he makes a mistake that causes equaliser, but the amount of times that Alan McGregor has saved Rangers, even last season, Stephen Gerrard spoke about it after the match too. He thinks that we've maybe stitched McGregor up there a wee bit because they should have been maybe 2 or 3 up by that point. Adam was absolutely right. I thought Rangers, it was liquid football in the first half, playing really well. They eventually broke the deadlock with a brilliant strike from Lundstrom, and it was going to need a good strike to beat Craig Gordon because he was in fine form like he has been all season. Made some good saves, especially from a corner. Leon Ballingen gets on the end of it, and it's a double or a treble save from Craig Gordon. So it was going to take a good strike. Lundstrom was the one to deliver that, and you're thinking going into half time, Rangers just need to really kick on for this. And honestly, it was like a different team. It was like a completely different team. The amount of turnovers, were just passing the ball at the park. They seemed disorganised, and after that 15 minutes, the Rangers just coming out like a different team. Hearts then started to grow into the game. They never get their first shot until 71st minute, or their first shot on target or whatever, and I ended up, I texted them during that, I'm like, we're hanging on here, and eventually they get the goal.
Yeah, I don't really, it's a strange one because it's like McGregor doesn't know whether to punch it or catch it, and then just doesn't either. But again, it's one of those situations where he needs everyone else to bail him out there, and like he's bailed them out multiple times.
Exactly, and they're not there to do
it. I'm annoyed I didn't ask Adam about this because there was another flashpoint, talking point during the game. Joe Rebo's challenge on who was it? Was it Devlin? It was on. I can't remember who it was on.
I think it was on B. Devlin. Aye.
Yeah. Red card? Yes or no?
Well, listen, for me, I would say it's a red card just with the way that the game's gone. His feet are high. He's lost control and he's caught him. Yeah. Aye, so for me that is a red card that the referee's missed there. I've seen comparisons made with the Porteous and the Joe Aribo one. Obviously that's going to happen. For me they're different. I mean, Porteous goes in to hurt the player. Joe Aribo for me doesn't. I think he goes in to win the ball, and also Porteous is fucking following through and he kind of pulls away from it. But for me, in the way that the game's going, as a red card, and Rangers are favourable there.
The difference is if Aribo doesn't catch him, it's not a red card. But obviously Porteous didn't, but it still is. Do you know what I mean? Because of the intent
and the force that he goes in with.
It's a red card.
To be fair, if Devlin comes in and his legs straight or whatever, it's going to be high. It's going to maybe catch him in the knee area, and it could be a very bad challenge.
It's definitely a red card. The one thing I thought was a notable difference why I didn't think you could compare Porteous to the Aribo one is because I almost feel like if you watch the Aribo challenge, well, it's a red card, but I don't feel like it's Aribo that flies in with it's more Devlin that goes into. He's the one that's coming in at a bit of pace. Now, obviously, Aribo still catches him high. It's still a red card for me. But they're two completely different challenges. But I think it should have been a red card. But again, it comes back to these things. It just depends what ref you get, what day you get. It's.
And see, we were talking about it in the way over, right? Rangers obviously at the moment just look like they can't score, and the goal difference and all that will tell you that. Because I think Hibs have scored more goals, and obviously Celtic have scored the most in the league. But it's not for the want of trying, in my opinion. I think that Gerrard is trying to maybe change the way that Rangers playing. You've seen that in the first half. You're seeing Glenn Kamara kind of all over the park. He's playing passes that he wouldn't normally play. He maybe play the safe pass a lot more often. In the first half, there was shots from outside the goal. Usually Rangers are so frustrating. They pass it side to side and they try and really, really get right in front of goal before they hit a fucking shot.
Yeah.
So it isn't for the want of trying, but what more can you do really as a manager when you're giving your key striker 2 or 3 big opportunities and he's just not putting them in the net?
You change
and through Alfredo Morelos,
you drop him. You play Sakala, you play Roof, you play.
I'm playing in the next game. I would be playing Kemar Roof through the middle,
and then who off the right?
It's tough because there's a few options. Obviously, you can play Yanis Hadji there. You could play Joe Aribo there. Scott Wright as well is there or thereabouts. But for me, it's like with Rangers at the moment, there isn't a lot of match winners. Last season, there was so many match winners. There was several that would pop up with goals. There was goals spread out the full team. But this season, there seems to be none.
Yeah, it's
and in key moments, they're not stepping up.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough one, but you're right, because if they're creating chances, it's kind of you can only. Gerrard can't put the ball in the net himself, can he? Although I'm sure he probably would put away a few of those chances still.
Fuck it, a few, man. Jesus.
He put away a lot.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Christ.
Big Rob Nielsen and all, he gets sent off.
Did he?
He gets sent off right at the end. There was another incident.
Just for having a dreadful haircut and rotten gear.
Probably, mate, aye. Nielsen wasn't too happy. Bakuna came on and they came together. Another fly. Honestly. He's getting a doing. Bakuna came on, there was a come together, I think, with Kingsley. Kingsley pushes him and then Bakuna puts his arm around his neck. Ooh. Which then Nielsen's called for a red card in that as well. So he's maybe felt hard done by with that because he's raised his hands. He ends up getting a yellow, and I think he sarcastically applauds the ref for that, and he gets a second yellow. Yeah. Sent up the tunnel. This was before the equaliser too.
Fantastic.
So it was scenes.
Just finally, on a Hearts point of view, from what you saw of them, how long do you think they'll maintain this pace?
It's so tough to tell, isn't it? Because I see that goal for Craig Halkett, I thought it was pivotal. Because if you go away for that, right, you've lost your first game of the season, and now your manager's not going to be in the dugout for the next 2 or whatever it's going to be. It could potentially be downhill, but they get the equaliser. When I look at the squad, in the middle, I think they're a wee bit short. Benny Beningame is a top player. I was looking forward to watching him in duels with Glenn Kamara at the weekend there.
You've got like Halliday, Peter Haring.
Yeah, and I think they're all good players, but they're not really anywhere near Benny.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch him, I think there may be a centre mid missing if they really, really challenge him, because up front, they have a top striker.
Really top
Barry Mackay's come in, hit the ground running in goals. They've got a goalie that's as good as anybody. In front of that, they've got a really good
pairing at the back.
Big shooter in that. Craig Halkett's coming into the game.
Good.
Kingsley.
He's a great player.
He really stood out to me at the weekend. His delivery was exceptional. He was composing the ball, and he looked good defensively as well. So, for me, they maybe can maintain the pace. I don't want to discredit them straight off the bat, but maybe we get it in a couple of months when we see it, but for me, maybe a wee bit late in the midfield.
You would tip them for third now, though.
Second, die.
Third. You tip them for third now.
They do look like having seen new Hibs at Ibrox and new Hearts, I thought Hearts looked the better team.
And that's we'll segue into Hibs, because I think that will cause Jack Ross no end of problems with Hibs support if Hearts finish third this year and he doesn't win a trophy. He could be in big trouble there. And what a disastrous result it was at Easter Road. Actually, I'm going to change the way I'm going into this game, because I need to approach it differently. We need to approach it with Dundee United, Tam Courts. Phenomenal.
What a job he's doing, Tam Courts.
It's going to become the taxi driver Patterson.
Yeah.
What a job. Remember when Kelly were flying under Steve Clark? Every taxi he got in, what a job Steve Clark's doing.
That's a new one, isn't it? The
Tam
TC.
Courts, yeah. Oh, I mean, just phenomenal. What a result, what a performance.
Yeah.
They look brilliant all over. They're playing amazing football. They're defensively so solid. And yeah, just unbelievable. What a time to be a United fan. And mental, because none of them wanted Tam Courts to be manager, and they were all raging with the appointment.
Yeah, because at the time it looked like maybe the cheap appointment.
I mean, it was.
Yes, but obviously you watch Tam Courtson's interviews and you just think he articulates himself very well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So you could imagine he's went into the interview process, if there was one, obviously I don't actually know, but he's impressed, or he's been impressing for a number of years now at Dundee United or whatever, and he's obviously got some good ideas in the game, and his team are going and they're executing that at the moment, and they just look brilliant. They look really good. The fact they've went to Easter Road there and battered them 3-0, especially a few weeks ago they get battered at home off of Hibs, so he's obviously watched that, learnt for that, approached the game a wee bit differently, and they've just went there and just absolutely ran over the top of him. The first goal, Nicky Clark, great finish for him. He's a player that's now really cemented himself as a Premiership standard player. And then
he wasn't good enough to play for Dunfermline. Mental.
There you go. But he gets better. He's got better. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously worked on his game for years now, and he's definitely at that level now.
Mental how they're not really missing Lauren Shankland at all.
No.
I can't tell you the last time I thought about Lauren Shankland, actually, which is mental, because he was the hottest striker in Scotland for a couple of years there. 6 clean sheets in 9 games in the Premiership for Dundee United is phenomenal.
Yeah,
that is unbelievable, and Charlie Mulgrew deserves the world of credit for the way he's revitalised that whole back line. And he's making the ones around him better. And he was talking himself about how he's still hopeful of getting a Scotland call up. That's on this form. If Declan Gallagher was still be making squads recently, Scott McKennan's was making squads. Charlie Mulgrew's in better form than both of those two, and he's got experience. Now, I'm not saying he's going to play international football again, but you can understand why he thinks he might have a chance of making a squad.
No, I can understand why he thinks that.
He won 100% of his duels aerial and on the ground. On
fair play, man.
Saturday.
Fair play. His form's certainly there. I just think there's a few in front of him. I
do.
Kerr, Suter and that. I'd maybe like to see them get their opportunity. But can't argue with the impact he has made, and also got to give credit to Edwards, his partner. I thought he was brilliant at the weekend. His goal was terrific. There was one in the first half as well that I liked. He absolutely went through Martin Boyle. Martin Boyle looked like he was going to be through in goal, and he's just done him. I've seen it today sometimes, and the two of them complement each other really, really well. And 6 clean sheets in 9, did you say?
Yes.
What a job.
And Edwards has talked a lot recently about the impact Mulgrew's had on the squad, and obviously the impact he's had on him personally, and they seem to be very, very comfortable at the back. Just everything to be happy about for Dundee United just now.
Peter Pollitt as well.
Yeah.
He's flying.
He is flying. And obviously United have got Motherwell at home next weekend and then Livy away, so if you get 2 wins there, you're flying into the end of the first quarter. And you went into this season saying top 6 would be the aim for United, but did we realistically think they'd do it? Probably not.
No, I had them low down in the league.
And now the way they're going, you'd probably bank on them to finish up there. What a disaster for Hibs though. That's a disastrous result.
Yeah, again, Jack Ross after the game wasn't best pleased. He went through his players, says it was selfish. 1 win in 5. They're kind of falling off a wee cliff.
I criticised them a bit last week, and I felt a bit harsh doing it, but I just feel like they've kind of stagnated. You look like last season, you think, right, they're going to take another step next year, because obviously they finished 3rd last year but bottled it in both cups. You think, right, they're going to go and improve on that this year, but will they finish 3rd this year? I mean, they've definitely got the squad.
They'll be there or thereabouts for sure,
but whether they need to start finding some form. Nisbet's not in form, Boyle's not really in great form, Doidge is obviously injured. So they need to find something and fast, because it's going to be, especially with the semi-final coming up soon. They've obviously got Rangers at Hampden. If they get beat there, that's another cup that they won't win. And I think that I felt a bit sorry for Jack Ross last season, because obviously having Celtic and Rangers not in the cup semi-finals, the Celtic Rangers weren't either, were they? Set semi-finals, I don't think they were.
Don't think so. No, Rangers went in the quarters, I think, in both.
So then, I mean, that put a lot of pressure on Hibs to be the favourite to win both cups and never did it, which is a bit unfair. And obviously, he took a lot of criticism for that, and I do worry for him a little bit this year. And they've got Aberdeen at Pittodrie next week, which we'll come on to later on in the week, but that's going to be a massive game, and then they've got Celtic after that. So it's a tough end to the first quarter for Hibernian, but what a result for Dundee United. Probably the performance of the weekend for Dundee United in terms of the whole SPFL.
Absolutely flying, and it was a good story as well for the third goal. The boy who scored it, sorry, his name's escaped me, but he was doing it at Southampton for the last few years.
I can't even remember his name, that's going to kill me. What a goal it was too.
Yeah, it was a great finish, and the emotion and the celebration obviously meant a lot to him. I'm sure that he's been going through some bad injury problems the last 3 years. He's now back up the road at Dundee United, and he's come on and scored that.
What a goal. What a goal it was. Really good football. I can't remember who it squares it to him either, but it's the decision to square it instead of shoot himself was brilliant.
We interrupt this broadcast with a message from our sponsors on the beautiful new 4K camcorder.
It's superb.
Yes, we do. Of course, this podcast is brought to you in association with G4 Claims. They absolutely hook us right up, David, ain't they?
Mate.
The settings of this podcast. No,
the
4K camcorders. Let us know in the comment section if you want to watch me and David in 4K every week.
It's bad enough watching this in HD.
I know. I'd probably say no, but it does increase the production value of the show. So if you do, let us know in the comment section below. But let's tell them a wee bit about our sponsors, David.
Mate, we look gorgeous. Sorry, sponsors. Sponsors G4 Claims. Get 100% of your claims.
Get 100% of your claims. G4 Claims. G4. And if you are unfortunately in an accident, let them know that it was the good boys at Top Scottish Football that sent them your way. And
they'll look after you.
They will look after you.
They are just
as we say, is 100%.
Flying. They're absolutely flying too.
They are indeed. They're absolutely everywhere.
They
In
are
the back
everywhere.
of Motherwell, they had Tony Watt up here, didn't they?
Yeah.
Opening the new HQ.
New office looks amazing.
New office. Talk to me. You could eat your dinner after flare in there.
They could. I mean, Div has. So I mean, it's just sensational.
Aye, I have. Mince and tatties.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Aberdeen and Dundee have both got American owners. So they'd agreed to change the kick-off time to try and see if it could appeal to the American market and get people in America to watch it. Whether or not it worked or not, I'm not sure, but that was the reason behind it. So yeah, a bit bizarre.
Yeah.
I
wonder what the numbers were.
Another game that should have been on TV. I mean, so many games you could have justified for TV selection this weekend.
What's that all about as well? Like, all the games were on the sat. Aye. There was none on the TV.
Yeah, shambles.
That is a shambles, isn't it? We're getting absolutely shafted off this guy.
Yeah. I know it's mental. Big win for Dundee, but I mean, you've got Aberdeen a talking point, aren't they? The fans turned on Stephen Glass very audibly at the end.
Mate,
he is in a lot of trouble.
That is a game that they've got to go and win. Yeah. I know Dundee have got good players. Charlie Adam came back into the fray this weekend. Obviously, Lee Griffiths pops up and gets a goal, who will score goals. But you're talking about a team that haven't won all year in the league, and then they've just went and handedly beat you. And you look at the Aberdeen team as well and you think to yourself, that's a good team, there's some good players in there.
It's a great squad.
See, when they signed David Bates, I thought that's a good signing, but he's got to do better for the two of the goals. He steps up and he just gives Lee Griffiths all sorts of yards to run into, ends up putting it in the net. And then the second one, I think he's got to get the man quicker, and he's on the edge of the box, you know what I mean? They're just sitting watching him and he just passes it in the net. So they've got a lot of work to do, man.
Yeah.
A lot of work to do.
It's 5 straight defeats in the league for Aberdeen, and it's 10 without a win in all competitions. I mean, for Aberdeen, that's nowhere near good enough.
Nah.
I don't know. I can't see him getting sacked because I think Cormac and him are pretty tight. It was Cormac's choice. It was his man. I don't see him going anywhere yet. I think they'll give him time. Whether the fans will give him time, I don't know.
See, when I listen to Stephen Glass talk as well, though, I think he sounds good.
Yeah,
but it's all about the results, innit?
Yeah, but then Peter Grant sounds amazing when at the start of the season, and I thought he was going to win us the league, so there you go.
Yeah.
But it's a disaster for Aberdeen, and in the next 3 they've got Hibs, Celtic and Rangers, I think. Hibs, Rangers and Hearts in the next 3.
That's just, with the way that they're playing, that
could be
0 points.
Quite possibly, I think.
And especially with teams like Livy and all that,
yeah.
Ross County can score goals as well, so maybe they could get a wee win here or there. Dundee have just get their first win.
This weekend coming, they've got Hibs, and I think that's an absolutely massive game for both. A huge game. I mean, genuinely, if Stephen Glass loses that, I think he could get sacked. If Jack Ross loses that, he might not be far away either. We're talking about how good this weekend pass was. There's some cracking games next weekend as well, which we'll obviously come on to later in the week. But for Dundee, I mean, massive for numerous reasons. One, just getting that win. Secondly, getting Lee Griffiths, getting a goal.
Yeah.
What a difference that could make. I said it on last week's show. They've got strikers that can score goals, and once they start, I think they'll hit a run. Paul McGowan as well, popping up 2021, and he's scoring goals in the Premiership. Mental. But yeah, good result for them. But it's just Aberdeen are an absolute fucking shit show. And I feel a bit for Stephen Glass. I do, but hey ho. Charlie Adam as well, back in the team and back making an impact. There was something I saw on Twitter. People were shouting at Scott Brown. There's a shite Charlie Adam. I think Charlie Adam was pissing himself apparently when he heard that. So yeah, that was quite good. Right, where do we go to next? There's some. I think we've got to go to Dingwall next. Talk about teams that are in trouble. County are going down.
They were one of my favourites at the start of the season.
That's my declaration now, they're going down.
See, the thing with County though is, did they score goals recently?
A lot more though.
But that's the thing, innit? At the back, they're so shaky. But was it 3-0?
3-2.
I know it was 3-2, but was it 3-0 or was it 2-0 at one point?
I think.
I knew it was definitely 2-0 at one point.
It might have been 3-0 actually. I'm not sure.
Eamon Brophy opened the scoring. He started to get in amongst the goals, which is good for Goodwin. I think that's 3 wins and 3 now for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great victory, but as you say, Ross County, man, they are in trouble, aren't they?
They are.
Because you
massive
look at them and you're like, how are they going to win games? Do you know what I mean? Even though they are scoring goals, as you say, they're just so shaky at the back. Like,
I mean, their only clean sheet was the opening day of the season, and if you're going to be a team fighting relegation, you start keeping clean sheets as a sort of foundation to build on.
I mean, look at Livy.
They're quite strange because they're doing it the wrong way around. Normally, teams like that, they can keep clean sheets but don't score goals. They're scoring goals but not keeping clean sheets. So we'll have to see what they do. Maybe they should just give John Hughes a phone. I heard he's quite good at keeping teams up, or they could just get rid of him instead.
That's so bizarre how they ended up getting rid of him.
Mental.
Because I always thought it was him that stepped in, but
as long as they
apparently
don't
he
go
get pushed
back
out the door.
because I want Yogi Dunfermline. That would do me.
Aye,
fucking right. I'd take Yogi Dunfermline.
the big man.
I would take me Dunfermline in the hot seat. I think I'd do a better job. But yeah, what a disaster for Ross County. Absolute disaster, and they're in big trouble this season. But yeah, St Mirren, we've got to give them a bit of credit because I think we all kind of thought that they would eventually get going and turn it around, and they have done. In fair play, 3 wins in a row, as you just said there. Brophy scoring goals.
The Wolf.
Yeah, and the thing that'll go well for St Mirren is because they had a relatively poor start to the season, they'll slowly be able to climb the table without really anyone really paying attention to them. And before you know it, they'll be top 6 pushing again. So, yeah, good result for them. What an away day that is. A good trip back down the road on the bus for the team. I think there'd be a few beers in that bus on the way back down.
Aye.
I would say so. Oh, aye.
Capri Suns, you know what I mean?
I would say so, a wee Capri Sun.
Aye.
And the final game in the Premiership was St Johnstone against Livingston.
Viva la Davy Martindale.
What is going on with Callum Davidson?
I don't know.
Oh.
They've just battled who was it, Dundee last week.
Yeah.
They look really, really good, and it's just the reverse cards have been played. And Livy have went there, but at the back especially.
Can we talk about that third goal?
What about the second as well?
I think the third is the most comical goal I've seen in a long time.
Mate, the second and the third are as bad as each other.
Yeah, just an absolute fucking shambles.
What is that all about? I see something I wanted to talk about in the show though. They've obviously lost Kerr, right?
Yeah.
And they've replaced him with F.A. Ambrose. I know F.A. Ambrose had a good career.
But see, to be fair
though, for me,
I think
that's a downgrade.
But until the weekend, I think he'd started okay.
But then you look at that, and he's just got mistakes in him. Whereas we knew St Johnstone last season has been so organised, so resolute at the back, and now after watching that, the mistakes are just unforgivable. The first one, Segoli in it, he just kicks it off the centre half's foot. It drops to Bruce Anderson, which is a talking point as well. Came back at the team and doing really, really well.
Yeah, I think we said
puts it in the net.
If they were going to survive, it would be his goals that would help them.
Aye, and going off that, that was really good, and it was a big performance. He needed that because he was playing shinny up front and that. So, see, when a centre mid or whatever's playing in front of you up front, it doesn't look good.
But Livy have had a habit of doing that because I remember they were playing Scott Robinson up front last year,
and it worked.
It did work for them. If you're St Johnstone though, I mean, every bit of success they had last year was built on the fact they were so solid at the back, and you mentioned that there, Jason Kerr, obviously Jamie McCart and Liam Gordon were just a formidable three, and they were very comfortable and didn't concede many goals. Now they look all over the place. I mean, that third goal is absolutely mental. First of all, what Michael Halloran's doing back there, I'm not totally sure. And then him and Ambrose just running each other. And
maybe that's why then Halloran's not supposed to fucking be there, and that's why Ambrose is
it's comical. I mean, when things aren't going your way, things like that just happen. An absolute shambles. Only 2 wins and 9 for Saints.
Jesus Christ.
And it's going to be an interesting season for them. I mean,
they've got the quality to turn that around.
They were always in a hiding to nothing this season, though. No matter what they did this year, they were never going to be live up to expectations.
A talking point for Livy as well is the fact that they got Pittman back into the team, who scored a goal. He's been a big player for them.
Been there for years.
Aye. He's been a top player for them, and maybe that is something we've been overlooking a wee bit. Some of the big players have been out long-term injuries, and
also every year
Craig Sabal, big player in the middle. He's just come back at the squad.
They also tend to lose their best players every window. I mean, the window they lost Dykes and Lawless was because
their recruitment is frightening. See, when you think about it, see, every year it's a turnover, and every year they seem
new guys that come in and do well.
Yeah.
First away win in 8 months for Livy though, and Martindale has had. I mean, over that 8 month period, just in general, they've been shocking. Let's be honest. Their end to last season was pretty dreadful. Massive win for them, but I mean they're 4 points clear of the bottom spot now. And I think they go to Dingwall next weekend.
That's got to be massive.
That's the other big game I was thinking of. What a massive game that is. I mean, if Livy win that, Ross Kent could be 7 points adrift at the bottom.
Jeez, oh.
I mean, well, actually, I suppose it would depend on what Dundee do as well, but you would really worry for
that's
Ross
a 6-pointer, isn't it?
It's a definition of a 6-pointer. But yeah, great win for Livy. I think that's a Premiership done, isn't it?
Done and dusted, mate.
Let's go to the Championship, shall we?
It's these.
Right, okay, let's go to the Championship. Let's start at East End Park.
You were a bit happier at the weekend.
I was a lot happier at the weekend.
You know what I mean?
When you've been that shit, you accept less, and you're happy with less. Listen, the performance from Dunfermline at the weekend I thought was really good for the lads' part. Lots of fight, lots of togetherness, a wee bit of quality at times too. Missed too many chances though. If you want to win a game like that, you've got to score your chances. We still look like a team low in confidence, but it's coming. And I thought the most pleasing thing was we go. Kai Kennedy had a massive chance at 0-0 and he misses it, and then they go up the pitch and score to make it 1-0, and you're thinking, fuck, it's gonna be one of them days.
Yeah.
We then get an equaliser. Don Thomas goes to cross it, I think, and just misses everyone and trundles into the bottom corner, which was brilliant. And then literally 30 seconds after the restart, it's 2-1 Kelly, and you're thinking, well, that's us. We're playing well, but it's just too little too late. We're going to get beat again. Shambles. And the boys show a bit of fight, a bit of character. They keep going, they keep plugging away. In the 95th minute, Aaron Cormier gets the equaliser, which is a great finish, by the way.
Talk to me about the Dom Thomas celebration. And Dom Thomas in general come back at the fold.
Dom Thomas is an interesting one. His reputation has been enhanced amongst the Dunfermline fans because he's been out of the team, though. So it's one of those, like, the longer you don't play, they get better. So he's very hot and cold. Dom Thomas, when he's on his game, is frighteningly good. And if he was always like that, he wouldn't be playing for Dunfermline because he'd be just far too good for us. But he came back into the team, and I thought he did well. You know, he tried hard. He gives you he's probably the most exciting player we've got in terms of making things happen. And he gets a goal, and fair play to him. And for the winner, he leathers the ball into the Kelly fans, which was tremendous.
There's also that history
just told him to sit down. They were giving him a bit, which I didn't.
Because he used to play for them, didn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think he left on bad terms. I don't know what it was all about. They were definitely giving him a bit though.
That seems to be the theme though. We never spoke about it in the Celtic Motherwell. The Motherwell fans were booing David Turnbull.
I don't get it.
I don't get it myself. I mean,
the only way I can understand it is
if
they like leave for a rival, or they start making problems and try and like demand to leave.
Motherwell, for example, did they get $3.5 million for
Turnbull?
Turnbull?
I mean, the fact that they got an extra year out of him as well.
An extra year, I know. And they signed a new contract to get a fee.
Yeah.
It just seems to be the thing now.
But didn't do that at Celtic.
There you go.
Left, you know what I'm saying. Anyway,
I think Connor Goldson's got to do the same at Rangers, to be fair.
I think so.
He's been offered a new deal, hasn't he? And he's not signed it yet.
Yeah.
There's been rumours of West Ham and all that, and a Bosman in January.
I can see.
I never touched on that at the Rangers game, to be fair. We never. Jesus Christ, at the back.
I can see Davy Moyes.
Leon Balogun just get bullied the full game, but anyway.
Yeah.
Second half anyway.
I didn't think Kelly were that great either, if I'm honest. I didn't think they were up to much, to be honest. But
Kelly's a weird one, isn't it? It's like they started so well, and then they started okay, but they looked like they were kind of getting through the gears.
The
and
fans will be fizzing as well, having conceded that equaliser. But I know Dunfermline have been rotten this season, but still I think for Kelly going away to Dunfermline and getting a point is not a bad result. I know we've been shit, but it's still. I mean, Inverness didn't win at Dunfermline either, so it's still a reasonable result for them. I just think the way that they lost the late goal will absolutely kill them. The only frustration again is that we didn't win when we probably should have done. But again, at the end, the best thing about the whole game was there's been such a disconnect between club, fans, board, manager, team, Everton. It's just been an absolute horrible place to be recently. And that sort of celebration at the end was brilliant. The fans were fucking buzzing. There was a nice bit of togetherness. It just felt like, right, let's just try and get going now. And then obviously we've got Thistle away next week, which will be incredibly tough. But it is what it is. We've just got to try. If the boys play like that every week, we will start winning games. There's no doubt about that.
It's a good segue into Thistle, then, isn't it?
Yes.
Hamilton. What was going on there?
Filth. Absolute filth. 6-1.
That's been a good game
Accies
to
are
go to,
going
by
down,
the way.
by the way. I think Accies are going down.
You think so?
I think Accies. I know they're on the bottom, right, but we'll not go down. We just won't. I know we won't. Somebody clip that, by the way.
Famous last
we will
words,
not
mate.
go down. I don't believe we will. Morton and Accies, I think, will both go down this year. They're fucking awful, both of them. So are we, right enough. But I just have so much. Our squad is much better.
These are the draw merchants, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
a wee bit more luck and goes maybe we could have a couple of wins.
We're slowly. I know we got beat at Queens, but see if you take that out of it, we're slowly starting to. And we drew against Inverness, drew against Accies, drew against Rovers.
Drew against Accies though as well, was it?
Tilly, yeah, I mean, and we hung on against Accies, to be fair. But just woeful, and I can see them if they get relegated this year. I'm not sure they come back.
I know they're that size of club, innit? And
Yeah.
they do a lot of good work in the community, and I think the youth academy served them really, really well. Obviously in the top league.
If you look at teams that are in the League One that have Clyde were a Premiership team for ages, and it went down there and have never come back. Airdrie, another one that are probably never going to come back. Look at Falkirk. I mean, Falkirk will come back because they've got more about them than a club like Accies do, I think.
Yeah.
But
So
they're
tough,
struggling down there.
Man. Oh my god!
And you can just see them
even
going
if they
back
go
to
down
back.
again, you're thinking to yourself,
Yeah,
they're going
just
to kick start in that.
See
week.
clubs that are just you see it with Sunderland down south. When your club's in free fall, you just it is a struggle. Stuart Taylor's obviously gone in and had a dreadful start. I mean, they beat Inverness at home not that long ago, which was a really good result. But they conceded 6 goals at home on the telly. Is just a disgrace.
On the telly, I know.
It is an absolute that's why I think they're filming it bad, but we're never going to concede 6 goals in a game. It's just not going to happen. He says before they go to Thistle next week. That was the other stat I wanted to bring up before Saturday. Going into Saturday, Thistle had scored more goals in 184 minutes than we had in 184 days.
It's just grim viewing, isn't it?
That's mental, isn't it? What a stat that is. So yeah, but
And you've been at most of their games?
Yes, I have indeed. But wow, I mean, Thistle flying. I think they'll definitely finish in the top 4. I've said that before.
With a wee bit of luck and a good run, man.
I mean, some of the players they've got. I mean, Brian Graham is still fantastic. Scott Tiffany's just unbelievable. They've got Kyle Turner. They've got Zach Rudden. They've got so many really good players at the top end of the pitch that can hurt teams. And yeah, fair play to them. I think that they'll be. Ian McCall was delighted. I think he said his goalie was raging, didn't get a clean sheet, but he couldn't really complain at 6-1.
Robbing it in a bit, innit?
You're happy enough with that. But yeah, brilliant for Thistle. Accies, yeah, doomed. No, well, maybe not doomed, but they're in a lot of trouble. Can't see them finishing I can't see them finishing any higher than 8th or 7th.
I know.
You know what I mean? I mean, even Queen of the South have got a bit more about them. Morton, I think Morton are so used to scrapping to stay in the champ. This is what I think might help Accies. If it does get to the second half of the season and they're in a bad position, they're going to draw on that survival instincts they've got. There's still enough of that squad that are used to fighting relegation. They might actually start getting results then.
They survived for so long, right? And then eventually they were dealt with the killer blow. Yeah. Is that mentality maybe drifted away from Hamilton now? I know it's maybe ingrained in their DNA, but you just never know how they're going to react.
It's a tough one. I can really just see them going back-to-back relegations, but we shall see. Let's move on to
so quickly, I know, but didn't it?
Where should we go next? Let's go Wraith Rovers. Great win for Wraith Rovers at home to Arbroath.
That was a big game too. Obviously, Arbroath had a great start of the season.
Yeah, but I mean they've had 3 without a win now for Arbroath. So, but again, you ask Dick Campbell what he wants this season, and he just wants to stay in the league, and
yeah, exactly.
He's always going to go for that. They're up to second now, Rovers, which increases our plight a little bit. Seeing Rovers in second, we're down at the bottom. 13 points out of the last 15. Yeah, good win. I thought Arbroath would go there and take something, to be honest, but they didn't. And yeah, Rovers Rovers didn't start great, but they've really come on to a game. What
about Rovers is good? Not I mean, why are they coming on a game? I know last season they played some nice football.
They're so well coached. They play brilliant football. And they. I mean, Dario Zanata is the big one. He didn't score at the weekend, but they've got him into great form this season. He started really, really well. I watched Wraith Rovers play and I watched them filming. They're so much better on the ball. They're so much more comfortable, and they just punch above their weight. I mean, their budget won't be. The film will have a bigger budget than Rovers, I would say, by a considerable bit. I would imagine, but yeah, John McGlynn's just a much better manager than Peter Grant, and that is the proof is in the pudding in terms of Rovers up in second. But yeah, I mean, Anton Downs got a late consolation for Arbroath. Apart from that, I think it was relatively
comfortable,
relatively straightforward for Rovers. And also, Christoph Berra's done well since he went in this season.
Yeah.
Looked a finished player at Hearts last year, gone into Rovers, done quite well. So yeah, I mean, they're up to second. They'll be very, very happy. Let's go to the runaway league leaders, Inverness.
I'll be happy with that. I've got them in the queue.
2-0 win for Inverness against Morton at home. Michael Gardyne and Billy Mackay on the score sheet, the two former Ross County men.
You just feel like with A2 scoring, that's a Ross County result though, don't you?
It does, yeah, but it's why it's the most 10-pot derby in the whole of football.
Yeah.
Because Gardyne's still got to go and get a testimonial at Ross County after
That's madness, isn't it?
Imagine, oh my God, could you imagine he puts Inverness up and Ross County get relegated, then he goes back next summer for his testimonial?
There's a great chance of that happening.
Mental. But I mean, Inverness are currently, they're 5 points clear already. Inverness, I never saw that coming.
And that's going off last week as well. They dropped points, did they not? When Kelly get beat, they could have. They did. They could have capitalised on that. It could be even
they got beat
more.
off. They got beat off.
The both of them get beat last week, I'm sure.
Yeah, but yeah,
but still 4 points clear.
I never saw that coming from Inverness.
Would you say 4 points clear?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Fair play.
They're on 22.
Do you know the thing that I pretty much based it on was the fact that they finished the season off pretty good last season, and then by adding guys like Gardyne and Billy Mackay, I thought they could go there and maybe hit the ground running.
I just didn't see Billy Dodds being a very good manager, and he's turned out to be alright so far. So fair play to him. And they're absolutely flying. Morton in massive trouble, as they seem to always be green at Morton, but yeah, this might finally be the year they go down. Where else are we in this weekend? Who have we not gone? Ayr United won against Queen of the South at the weekend. Looked like the stinker on paper in the Championship, but a big win for Ayr United. Some interesting stuff on social media. Willie Gibson was saying that he was on the end of some pretty horrific chanting from Ayr United fans. Ayr United didn't release a statement saying they were going to look into it, but yeah, just not fun. But a big win for Jim Duffy, because Ayr have obviously really struggled so far this season, and that was a massive 3 points. Is that the Championship done? That's the Championship done. Let's go to my favourite segment of the show. Let's all laugh at Falkirk, which is always fun.
And I'll drubbing at home to Airdrie this time around.
How shit are they, by the way?
Honestly. See, every week when you're picking the coupons, I always stay away from it because you think Falkirk this week they're going to win, they're going to do this and that. But
1-6 for Falkirk.
Next week I think I'll be back against them, so they'll come back to winning ways. Airdrie 2-0. Dylan Easton gets his first goal of the season. Yes,
about time he got off the mark. I think he's, I don't think he's had the start maybe everyone expected, but I think I saw him on Twitter say he was delighted. A big bit of a weight off to get off the mark in terms of goals. What a result for Airdrie, because
it still is a good result. Going away to fault. I know that they're dreadful, but
they shouldn't be though. They shouldn't be. They should be winning that league comfortably.
Who's the gaffer doing there?
Paul Sheeran left Aberdeen in the summer. Went down there, started okay, but
just fell away.
Yeah, they are just dreadful, and I love it. I love every minute of it, to be honest.
They just seem to be getting worse.
Yeah, when you get into these ruts, though, it's kind of really difficult to get out. And the problems are, I don't think Falkirk fans are not happy with the board, they're not happy with anything. And the mental thing in football is, if the team are not winning, you'll just find the flaws in your club. We're seeing it at Dunfermline just now. The team are not winning, so we're pointing out flaws in everything. You look for the wrong things, but if the team's winning, nobody gives a shit.
I know.
If the team start winning, you could not care less if the club's social media isn't great or the hospitality isn't up to stand. No one cares.
I know,
because you're winning, but they're not winning just now, and it's great. I love it. But yeah, good result for Airdrie.
The one that surprised me, Cove.
Yes.
East Fife 4, Cove Rangers 2.
I don't think anyone would have predicted that.
East Fife have been the Whitman boys so far this season.
They've not really done what I thought they would so far this season. I really expected them to be. I mean, they're sitting second. Let's not get too...
No, going into the game, I thought they'd come on to a wee bit of a game, to be fair. Big man up front, it's McAllister, isn't it?
McAllister,
he's top goal scorer in the league. I think he scored 9 and 10.
Legend.
9 goals and 10 or something like that. He scored,
Standard for him, mate.
Standard for him, but 4-2 to East Fife. Got to give him a bit of
credit.
East Fife
were just clinical, to be fair. I'm just getting stats up here. I mean, Cove had 12 shots to East Fife 7, more possession, but East Fife just clinical. You can't concede 4 goals and expect to win. I mean, do you?
No.
Bit of a disaster. Yeah, East Fife. I think they've had a bit of a false league position so far this season. I think they're a bit better than what they've showed, and that's a massive result, because I think if you get beat there, I mean, if they were beat there, they would be, how many points? If we do some quick maths, they'd be 7 points off 9th.
Quick maths.
So you'd be very much adrift, whereas now it's back to 4, and you can start to maybe climb the table a little bit. The problem is that Clyde are the team ahead of them, and I know they got humped at the weekend. Absolutely humped.
Absolutely
5-0. But they've still got David Goodwillie, haven't they? So he's still going to score goals, and he'll probably drag them through. But Montrose, yes, I love me some Montrose. Love me some Stuart Petrie.
Flying,
mate. They're always flying. They do brilliantly. He's another one who could potentially get fellow manager. But they're in 4th, 5-0 win. You don't often see 5-0s in the League One. The matches are always very, very
the other one
tight.
I remember, I think Dumbarton battled these
Lots
5.
of goals, by the way, at the weekend in League One. Dear me.
Peterhead, they won 4-2 away to Alloa.
Away to Alloa, so
big game.
Me Barry still going through a rocky time.
Yeah, another red card though for Alloa. Discipline up there needs to improve. I think if they're going to be trying to get results, you can't be getting red cards left, right, and centre. And it seems to be when the red card comes, that's when the performance.
There's a goalie as well. David Hutton set off.
Maybe it was a last man kind of thing.
I'm not sure. I didn't see
Scott Brown scored another goal as well for Peterhead.
Flying, mate.
Flying. He's just turned into a goal scorer.
Why couldn't you do that for Celtic last season?
Don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, brilliant. And finally, Dumbarton 0, Queen's Park 3. Queen's Park, I've said for ages, are going to win that league. I don't know if you saw.
Spiders.
I don't know which goal it was. One of the goals, I can't remember which one it was. Louis Longridge plays this just delightful pass. Someone zings it into him, and he just outside the foot, like curves it round the corner. Defenders don't have a clue where it's going. Plays it in at somebody's path. Brilliant goal.
If Mo Salah plays that, everybody's talking about it.
I mean, Mo Salah is the best player.
He did play that though, didn't he?
Oh, mate, he does that just for fun, doesn't he? He's
the best player in the world.
I think he's the best player in the world.
I think
I would not swap him for anyone.
Best or most in form?
Best player in the world at the moment.
Right. You only swap him for a Haaland?
No.
No?
Not right now.
Lewandowski?
Yeah, for Haaland, because Haaland's got 15,
Benzema as well is flying.
Haaland's got 15 years ahead of him, so yeah, probably. But if I had a game tomorrow,
you're taking Salah over Haaland?
Yeah, every day of the week. Mate, he's so good. He's only
I do agree. I think he is flying at the moment, but
even like if you look over the last 4 years, in seasons he scored 20 goals, people said he's had a bad season. That's how good he is.
No, I know.
He's just a monster.
Liverpool's best ever right winger.
Yeah, he goes into the best all-time
Probably
11
is,
Liverpool now. See when he's done. If he has if he signs that new contract and it's another 3-4 years, he could be. He could be challenging Dalglish for the best all-time at Liverpool. Genuinely,
he needs to go and win a couple of leagues and maybe whatever. But
Champions League. You wouldn't put it past him winning the league this year or the Champions League for that matter. Anyway, moving on from that because I don't like English football talk on here, so I can't just do it when it suits me. And League Two had probably the surprise result of the weekend, and it's one that I think I predicted.
Aye.
I did. I'm quite good at these predictions.
We need the predictions at the end then.
Well, we can't do that because.
That's the preview.
And it was Steny picking up a win. Steny have been pretty hopeless. Granted, they were playing Cowdenbeath, who were also hopeless. But I'm amazed. I said it so many times. I'm amazed Steny have been so bad because the recruitment was so good. Friday night, Edinburgh played Kelty. Another win for Kelty Hearts. They are just phenomenal.
That's been a good game of telly.
Callum Higginbotham with man of the match. What a player! 2 for Nathan Austin, 1 for Michael Tidser. The squad is just so good, and I keep saying it, but they will win that league.
Yeah, they're coming up at a canter,
and they could go back to back. They could win league. If they were
Nathan Austin up front and the players that have got behind them.
If they were in League One this season,
they'd be early their boots, wouldn't they?
Fancy them. I mean, look at Queen's Park. Queen's Park are probably going to go back to back.
Yeah, exactly.
It is mental how in recent years we're seeing this sort of change in the attitude of these lower league teams that they really have got plans in place to start winning leagues. We went through a while where you wouldn't have seen teams really go back to back to back. They wouldn't. Now the ambition is there for a lot of these teams, and it's helped by the fact there's a pyramid system in place now, so the lower league teams can get up.
No, exactly.
Yeah, good. I mean, I'd love to see Kelty, Queen's Park, Cove in the Championship. Freshness would be great.
Nathan Austin, where do you rank him? Right out with the old, not the old firm, the top league, and like strikers in the full way the lower leagues. I think he's right up there.
I don't know. I think that's a bit generous because he has played plenty in the Championship. And I don't think he was ever the best striker in the Championship.
Below that, then could definitely do a job in League One.
He's the best. He would probably. Who else is
for this Kelty team though? I feel like something just clicked for him.
He would be up there.
Aye.
for the best in League One. I would say. Rory McAllister would have something to say about that because he's just phenomenal.
He would, to be fair.
Yeah, he would definitely be up there. He would if he went to most teams in the Championship would take him.
Yeah.
For sure. He is very.
That's
very
my
good.
thinking behind it.
Yeah, he is very very good. But there's a lot of teams a lot of players in that Kelty team who are more than good enough to play the Championship level. Right. What else we got? 4 for 2 and a 0. Great result for 4 fair play. Stranraer got a point against Stirling.
Sad.
Not the best result for Stirling because they obviously want to try and keep pace with Kelty, but now they're 6 points adrift after dropping points there. And finally, Albion Rovers 2, Elgin 0. So McGinley will be happy. His local team got a big 3 points.
He'll be buzzing with that, won't he?
Yeah, because he loves them. Loves a wee trip to Clifton Hill. Clifton Hill? Is it Clifton Hill? It's Clifton Hill. Am I right?
But the Albion?
Yeah, pretty sure it's Clifton
Pile
Hill.
City with the seats, man. Mad wooden seats.
It's not great, is it? It's not great. Right, so that's the games cover for the weekend.
We've got some Twitter questions here, though.
Fire on.
Ian Hamilton asks, Here's one. Does the league look more competitive this season with Edinburgh clubs looking okay? Crubs. Plus, who's seen the new Batman trailer?
I've not seen it, no.
I've not seen it either. Who is Batman? Is it still Ben Affleck or whatever?
I fucking don't know.
If it's Ben Affleck, then nah, I'm not having it.
I'm not big on film.
More competitive, it does seem to be fair.
Well,
is that a case of just like Rangers and Celtic also being at that level?
But even when you just look at the league, the names of the clubs on paper, it just looks a lot better, doesn't it? If you look at the names of the club, it looks a lot better. Saying Celtic, Rangers, Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen, Dundee United, it looks a lot better. And it is more competitive, of course it is. I think the quality of the league has been improving recently, and it certainly has done this year. We just went through Hearts' squad there. That entire squad wasn't in the league last year, and they've made the league a lot better. There is a bit of a gap developing though between County and Dundee, Livy, and probably the rest. Maybe a bit harsh putting Livy in there. St Johnstone might fall into that this year, but there seems to be a gap between the top 7, 8 and maybe the bottom 4. I think there's a bit of a gap there developing, but we'll see.
Vital Celtic News asks, what will it take for refs to brandish red cards fairly this season? Well,
it's not going to happen. You're always going to refs make mistakes.
There was a big narrative over the course of the weekend there about the big two getting all the decisions. Do you agree with this?
No. Well,
Nielsen was raging, and so was Graham Alexander after the Celtic game.
I think that if that tackle by Joe Rebo and Cammy Devlin was the other way around, I think it would have been a red card.
Really?
But I don't think that's because of a bias towards the Old Firm teams. I think that's because if you've got 50,000 people screaming at you, that's a red card, and then all the players going mental, you probably give it. I don't think that's because it's Rangers. I think that's just because of any. I also think if it was at Tynecastle, it might have been a red card as well. You know how loud it gets at Tynecastle. If you've got a Lempscombe for a red card, it might have been a red card.
Do you think there's a case of when a big decision goes against a certain team, that team supporters forget about all the decisions that they've got?
Any team,
do you know what I'm saying?
Any team in Scotland can say we never get decisions. Then you can go and find 10 decisions.
But obviously, that's a Celtic fan saying that. I can think of games at Parkhead this season. Curtis Main got an offside goal that should have been counted by St Mirren. There was a penalty shout as well. I can't remember who was that against. It was just an absolute.
Yeah, of course. It swings and roundabouts. I saw Motherwell fans moaning that Celtic get loads of decisions, and then a Celtic fan put 4 screenshots up of bad decisions Motherwell have had against Celtic over the years. It's it just happens to everyone. Referees in Scotland are not good enough.
So does that mean we need VAR then? Because there is a question in here about the VAR and how do we use it.
No, we don't.
So VAR's coming in. It is coming in.
It's not coming into Scottish football anytime soon.
It will.
Do you think so?
Yeah. For me, I think it will.
A ridiculous decision, I think, to do that.
You think so? Because then things like this are that's getting. Do you know what I mean?
I'm so against it in general.
But though, the question was basically right. How does Scotland approach it? Do they do it from the English point of view?
Do you trust the Scottish official up here to use VAR correctly?
No, really, right. But the question's saying, if we are to use it right, ideally in an ideal world, will we implement it the way the English have implemented it, which is just horrible, or will we take the Euros approach and the way they implemented it, which was brilliant?
Can you imagine the debates and the anger and the seethe we're going to have up here talking about VAR? Also, the idea
at the weekend with Rebo, do you know what I mean? If VAR doesn't gear up, people are still going to moan about it, aren't they?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it makes a great deal of difference. At the end of the day, it comes to VAR
and
comes down to your
ball.
officials' interpretation of what they see. So if your officials are still not good enough, you're still going to get bad decisions. We can't. The idea of us having VAR before having full-time referees is fucking ridiculous.
And also goal line technology.
Yeah, I would rather that.
There was someone in the stadium that thought the Balogun header was there the line, and then there was guys talking about how the fact we're going to get VAR before we even get fucking goal line technology.
Exactly.
I think the big thing about the VAR is if it comes up, it does what it did in the Euros, right? Which was, for me, I enjoyed it, and it got the big decisions right. And I enjoyed the Lyndon Dykes one as well.
That's got good referees using it though.
Yeah, good referees using it. If it comes up and it does that, then there's no issues with it.
How can you have referees that are not full time, but then have
that's the other thing, the full time.
You've got to go full time first.
Yeah,
you can't
and also
skip
the money aspect of it, I think about $2 million a year, is that correct?
Who's paying for that?
It comes out of the kitty basically.
Fuck that. No way. We don't have enough money in our game to justify it.
I know.
I don't think.
But the only way we could pay for it, in my opinion, is if we go out and get a sponsorship for it or something like that. But that money would probably be that. No.
The SPFL cannot afford to be chucking £2 million or whatever the fuck it is at VAR. They cannot afford to do it.
But also we can't get left behind because everybody else is using it. Literally all the major leagues.
We're not a major league though.
And all the other leagues below that.
We're not a major league.
Pretty much. I seen a stat and it was 2 or 3 other countries in Europe or something that don't have it.
I don't like it because it's not going to get. It just.
Is it an argument that
What happens if
it leaves your refs behind?
What
It leaves your teams behind.
If Rangers are playing Alloa in the cup, right, and they draw 0-0 at Alloa in the first leg, and then
first leg,
it goes to a replay, right? They draw 0-0 at Alloa, goes to a replay. But in the game at Alloa have a goal that's wrongly given for offside, right? It's given offside when it shouldn't have been. But there's no VAR. Then they go to the second leg at Rangers. Rangers win 1-0 but Alloa score a goal that is offside, but the referee gives it, and then VAR doesn't.
They wouldn't have VAR then.
Why would they not have VAR then?
Because it's not a case of Rangers it would be a case of like the competition. So like maybe the League Cup doesn't have it until the semi-finals.
None of the cups are going to have it because what if a Highland League team are playing?
Did they not have it already?
What if Fraserburgh are playing Celtic? We're just ever going to have, because Fraserburgh are never going to get VAR at their stadium, so we're never going to have VAR in the Scottish Cup ever.
No, I think what they've done, with the goal line technology, they've done it in the semi-finals and the finals, so they would just do that with the VAR.
Right, so what if you get a team
it's like
from League 2 in the semi-final?
In the Europa League, you don't get VAR in the group stages, but you get it in the knockouts. That's strange, isn't it, though, to be fair? Because you might end up getting a team, as you say there, let's say somebody gets a dubious goal in the quarterfinals of the Cup and they manage to get through to the semis as a result of that, but then in the semis there's VAR. It's the separation in it. See if you could give it to everybody. Then
yeah, but you can't and you won't, so that's what I struggle with.
But then look at other sports like rugby and tennis and all that, they use it.
I know, but there's a lot more
they use it effectively though.
But the fact that there's still teething problems in VAR at the world stage, how bad do you think it's going to be up here? It's going to be awful.
The last stage at the Euros was brilliant.
I know, but that's one of the biggest competitions in world football, with like all the European countries involved and all the money in the world. And you think that at Fir Park in a midweek game between Motherwell and Ross County with a part-time ref, it's going to be as good?
Nah.
No, exactly. It'll be an absolute fucking shambles, and it'll just make our game more of a laughing stock than it already is at times. Make the refs better first. Go and get full-time refs. Invest in making your refs better first. You can't have shit refs. VAR is only as good as the person.
There's an argument that the machine can just do the job of the shite ref.
But it doesn't. In the Premier League, the VAR is only as good as
maybe they need to get an AI that basically just makes a decision
right,
for us.
The Premier League don't have an AI, but we're going to have it up here.
Aye, we'll get that.
VAR is only as good as the official operating it.
We'll have a Scottish guy that could make an AI. You know what I mean?
It's just nonsense, mate.
Talking about AI or whatever, see the cameras that some of the teams use, man, and it just like it tracks the ball.
Oh, the VO ones, aye.
Mate,
that's a grand them.
They're dreadful, aren't they?
They're awful, by the way.
Boys away here, man.
It was like when the lot of championship teams used them when we were live streaming last year. Inverness used one and it was following the linesman's head because he was bald. So it thought that was the ball.
That's peak Scottish football, isn't it?
Fucking superb. Vintage sense.
But that's the thing about Scottish football as well, like you get things like that, you get like Effie Ambrose running into.
You know what I would love if we were sponsored by Cinch as well.
Do you think so?
Yeah, God bless the Cinch.
I've already got a motor deal, so.
Oh yeah, and on that subject of motors, if you're involved in an accident, get in touch with G4 Claims. Say we sent you.
Let's hit this for a tune, boys. Let's not listen to that because it's been took off.
Right, next question.
That's pretty much all questions. We get a few other ones, but they were more just saying things like why are Hearts so good and Rangers so shite.
Yeah, there has been a lot of that. Let me just quickly check Twitter so we haven't missed anything. I'm trying to think what else is.
Matthew Duff sent a quiz. I could maybe ask you some of the questions and see how good your general knowledge, your actual thing is.
Okay, hit me.
You want to do that, son?
Yeah, fucking right, mate.
Right, okay, let me switch back to my account. We were supposed to have somebody else on, but we couldn't get
phone
anybody else
Ryan
on.
for the quiz.
Daft Ryan?
Yeah,
we get him
Ryan
on the phone for the quiz?
Aye.
Right,
just give him a phone. Just give him a phone, see if he answers.
Right, let's do that. Cool. Let's go.
Because he might have time. He might not be
in a class. We're getting Ryan on the phone, 118.
Because he might have time for the quiz. I don't know if he's in a class. We better tell him straight away that we're recording. She doesn't say it and he shouldn't do.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
What a clown, honestly. We'll get McGinley on.
Get McGinley on. Give him a phone.
We'll just go through the roster here. Will McGinley answer?
Will he be awake?
He'll beat you near now, will he not?
Don't know. We'll see. He's not going to answer. People don't tend to answer the phone. Have you noticed? Like,
Ryan.
Hello.
McGinley, what's happening? Have you got a bit of time?
I do, mate, yeah, how so?
Because we're doing the show just now, right? And Dev's got a quiz, but there's only me here.
Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't even recognise your voice there. Sorry, mate. I'm still rough from Saturday. How you doing, mate?
Right, so we've tried to phone Ryan because we've got nobody here.
Somebody trying to sell him Sky or something.
We've got nobody here to do the quiz with me. Do you want to do the quiz with me on the phone?
Yeah, no bother. I mean, I thought you were like a Nigerian prince or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting him through often,
That'd be ridiculous.
Do you want to go A or B?
I'll go say A.
Right, okay, first question coming at you, McGinley. Current Hibernian manager Jack Ross was formerly a manager of which English sleeping giant?
Sunderland.
That's an absolute joke of a question. I'm not
Correct.
having that.
1-0.
This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Phone a friend.
Yeah.
Celtic faced Ferencváros on Tuesday, but how many points did the Hungarians achieve during their Champions League campaign last season?
How is that a fair to get? Oh, fuck knows. 4.
1.
Fuck.
It was a draw at home to Dynamo Kiev.
Oh.
Back to you to go 2-0 up. McGinley, Kemar Roofs scored his first international goal against which country recently? There was a wee bit about this on Twitter and that, so maybe...
I know he plays for Jamaica. Oh, God, I can't even think.
It's because you're still rough.
I'm trying to think of his qualifying groups. Canada?
It was Honduras
Oh.
in a 2-0 victory.
Was that where Izagiri was from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's
That'd have been a good question for McGinley, wouldn't it?
Kicking a ball.
Right, David, which Premiership club is the only club that is yet to pick up a single point away from home this season?
Dundee.
Correct. Yeah. They've got a 0-0 and 4 away record at the moment. 1-0. McGinley, which Championship club has conceded the most goals so far this season?
Championship. I'm going to say Hamilton.
That would be correct, mate.
I was convinced you were going to say Dunfermline.
21 conceded. 6 more than second place Dunfermline.
Yeah. They're superb at the back.
I knew they were losing games in Dunfermline, but Hamilton tend to concede a lot of goals. So.
Yeah.
They're hopeless.
So if Hamilton didn't get beat 6-0, it'd be the same as Dunfermline then?
Yeah,
oh,
much.
Jesus. Right, back to you. David Turnbull scored at Fir Park on Saturday, but how many months ago was his previous goal at Fir Park for the home side to the nearest 5?
So the nearest 5 months, dearie me. That's
The nearest
quite
5
quite
months.
generous, that.
Don't know.
Right, okay, so you're talking the end of... He scored one when he came back from injury at the end of his last season, definitely. I'm sure he did. So you're talking... that was COVID, wasn't it? Oh, so you're talking... I'm going to say, like... How many months ago? Right, let me do some sums here.
Remember his last time doing the maths, McGinley?
10 plus... I'm going to say 20 months ago.
That would be wrong. The answer's 36.
Oh, so he didn't score at the end of that season then?
Must know.
Or was he at Celtic in that season?
It
Maybe I'm
was
getting
2-0 versus St Mirren on the 31st of October 2018. So it would have been...
What?
For Motherwell, aye.
He never scored when he came back from injury, I remember.
Ah, fuck. Right, okay.
Right, who am I? Back to you, McGinley. How many Belgian players are currently playing in the Scottish Premiership?
Oh,
Belgian?
Belgian, yes.
Right.
what a question.
Ball goalie.
Lukaku's cousin, yep.
Omiyonga, who's at Livingston.
Yep, that's
I think
correct.
he's Belgian.
That's correct.
Is it?
Yep. There's 2 more.
2 more.
Oh, I'm struggling here.
Let me go through.
I think if he gets a third, we give him the point. Because this is hard.
Okay.
But if you can give us one more,
Belgian,
McGinley, we'll give you the point.
There's got to be some sort of time
I'm trying to go
restriction
through
on
them.
that. I can't. I'm struggling big time. I'd have got those 2, but beyond that, there's got to be one. Is there one at Rangers? I think there's one at Rangers.
I don't think there's one at Rangers.
No, I don't think there is. One at...
I'm going to take a stab in the dark. I don't know if he's Dutch or Belgian, but Van Veen.
Nah, he's Dutch.
He's Dutch, mate. He's
Right.
Dutch. Right, we'll just concede the point then. The other 2 were Funzo Ojo of Aberdeen
Is he Belgian? I didn't know that.
and Lars Dendoncker.
Oh, yeah, St Johnson.
St Johnson.
Yeah.
Is that Dendoncker that was at
Is
Wolves?
he
No.
related? Is he related to him?
He might be related to him, though. I don't know. Is
It's like
that
Pogba when he played for Partick Thistle.
Yeah, Matthias Pogba at Thistle. Right, me next. Is
Right.
there a chance for me to draw level, is there?
I think this is to... No, I draw level. How many more clean sheets have Dundee United kept this season than Rangers? We
Well,
spoke about it in the show.
I know how many they've got.
Aye. So how many more than Rangers? How many more than Rangers have they got?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's tough. I can't even think of any Rangers results recently. So they conceded at the weekend, they conceded against Hibs. They conceded against... Who the fuck else have they even played? I can't even think. Did they concede against Motherwell? I think they did concede against Motherwell.
Fucking running theme made on it. Concede.
Van Veen set up the goal, I think, because you remember you saying it was shite apart from setting up the goal. Right, so that would have them level if that was all they'd conceded. So who else have they played that they conceded against? Conceded against Dundee United, so that's... Okay, so that's one. Who else have they even played? I can't even think. I'm going to
clean
say...
sheet against Celtic.
I know that. I'm going to say they've conceded 3. They've had 3 less.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, beauty.
So Dundee United have had 6 out of 9 clean sheets. Rangers have had 3 out of 9.
It's embarrassing that, isn't it, really?
Aye, that is to be fair. Right, this is a who am I? It's 2 each at the moment.
It is 2 each.
On the 5th question. Right, McGinley, yours. I am African. No me. No me, the question. I am African. I have played in the Scottish Premiership. I have played in a Champions League final. Who am I?
Oh, I know, that's easy.
African.
That's
African,
really
played in the Scottish Premiership and have also played in a Championship final, Champions League
I
final.
think that's easy. I think it's easy.
Kolo Touré.
Victor Wanyama.
Victor Wanyama is the answer. Did Kolo
Kolo
Touré play?
Touré played for the
2006?
2006, no?
I don't
Aye.
think
Did
he
he
did.
play in that final though? Let me just start with a Google list to make sure.
Going to need to check that. We're doing a VAR here, McGinley.
No bother.
Wales Davis-
Wanyama played for Tottenham.
Yeah, we know that. Wanyama
Um,
definitely played, but did Kolo Touré play in 2006? I can't remember him playing. He was obviously in he was in the Invincibles, wasn't he, Kolo Touré?
Aye.
But that was in
Looking it up.
2002, 2003.
Yeah, but the Arsenal made the one
He
final.
That was in 2006, the final.
He did. He played.
Oh, so Matthew Duff, how about he did play?
So that's a point then to McGinley, because that's an answer.
What the fuck?
That is an
It's
answer.
like-
Oh wait, he has played in the Scottish Premiership. Aye, well
Played
done,
for Celtic, didn't he?
McGinley. Well done, mate. That's a point.
I want Matthew Duff's head in a platter.
I did send it like
great.
during the night, so he was
That's
up.
very cool.
No bother.
That'd have been some. That's still some question if you get one of the 2 in it. Right, back to you. It's 3-2. You need this, David. What's that? Who am I? Obviously as well. I was a Scotland international. I had 29 caps with 7 goal contributions. I have played for Granada, Cadiz, and Watford. Who am I?
Granada.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
there's
that's
been a
easy.
question like this before.
Yep, I know who this is.
I mean,
Scotland international, 29 caps, 7 goal contributions, and have played. obviously in
Watford
Spain
edges me towards
and Watford.
Ketchianya, but did he play for Granada or Cadiz? What the fuck did he play for Granada?
Did he play for Granada? That's the question.
Yeah, it's a Ketchianya, is it?
Correct.
Yeah.
3-all.
So
So,
playing in Spain. When did he play in Spain? The end of his
you
career,
think, did he start in Spain, McGinley?
Yeah, he did.
Aye.
I remember looking at his
I love
Wikipedia
that.
page because I like looking up players. and
yeah, I
that.
know he is. I loved me some Ketchianya, man. I loved him. He was brilliant.
Remember
What a
that
player.
goal against Germany?
Oh, he's got a good
Good
free
on
kick
him.
against Macedonia, I think, as well. Really good player.
That was top. Right, tiebreaker. Who's gone first? How's it
I'll
working?
let McGinley go first.
McGinley gone first. Right.
Did we wake you up? It's not about the time you wake up, is it not?
Right, this is actually a maths question, boys. So the both of you can do it at the same time and then give me your answers. McGinley can go first. Right. Craig
Right.
Gordon's age subtracted by Ryan Christie's assists for Bournemouth in the Championship so far,
Yeah.
divided by Livingston's clean sheets this season. So, Craig
But
Gordon's...
he could be googling all sorts here, the wee fucker.
No, he's on the phone.
Oh, he's on the.
And,
But
and
you can
if,
still.
if he is doing that, then he's cheating.
He is cheating.
So he's
And
cheated
that-
I'm not
He
using my.
would
I'm,
lose
I'm,
them all
I'm,
high
I'm
ground.
sitting in the kitchen.
Sitting in the kitchen in his 6-bedroom house.
Yeah. Look at the butler to bring him his laptop.
Google, please. Craig Gordon's age subtracted by Ryan Christie's assists for Bournemouth in the Championship so far, divided by Livingston's clean sheets this season. And we will go to McGinley first.
I'm going to go 17.
17. McGinley
Right,
has
so
went with here.
he reckons.
Wait a minute, divide. Is it divided?
Oh, I
by
think he's
the-
given his answer. He's given his
Divided-
answer.
Divided by Livingston's clean sheets this season.
He's given his answer. He did. He gave his answer. I don't care what anyone says. Fuck.
Go with that. Aye, that's fine.
Right, so he reckons that Livy have had 2 clean sheets, whereas I think they might have only had 1. Oh no, because they beat Celtic, didn't they? Did Celtic score 3 there? No, Celtic didn't score through there, did they? So, I might agree with him then.
Can I agree?
But I think he might be right.
But you got to go one higher or one lower.
But I think he might
You can't
be
give
right.
the same answer.
Because Gordon's 39,
Right.
and then he's saying that he reckons Christie's had 5 assists and Livy had 2 clean sheets. So it'd be 70. I agree with him. I can't know because
It was a fucking tiebreaker, mate. So you need to be.
Christie's been doing bits in the Championship, by the way, just as a side note.
17.
You wanting to agree with him?
Yeah.
Right. Since he wants to agree with you, McGinley, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to steal the victory here. So you can either go one below or one above.
Oh, so you're telling me I'm wrong?
What?
You're saying I'm wrong then?
No, but we need a winner.
I don't want to.
You don't want to change either?
What do you call it? I don't want to change it
So
now.
the two of you are shite bags.
Yeah. Are we both right though?
These are fucking miles off.
Oh,
Let me
really?
give you. The answer is 11.33.
Oh, so Livy have had 3 clean sheets.
So Craig Gordon is 38, no 39.
Oh fuck, there we go for a start.
Yeah, I thought it was 37.
Christie's only had 4, and Livy have had 3 clean sheets.
So we got
They
everything.
just beat St Johnstone 3-0 as well.
We got, but I thought it was just those 2 clean sheets. So we got everything wrong then, is what you're telling us.
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna have to come up with something off the top of your head to get a winner here.
Come up with something off the top of my head.
Well, we can't have no winner.
That's what I was just trying to fucking tell you, mate. We can't, and there's the camera being away, so we're only audio only.
Right, give us something in the top of your head. Come on,
Something on the top of my head.
give us something Rangers related. McKinley's obsessed. He loves it.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Mate, what the fuck?
Come on, give us something.
I gave you
So
something.
we're getting a draw. Is that what you're saying?
That's what you wanted.
I don't mind the draw.
I fucking do.
He wanted to win. I gave him the opportunity. But you went lower or higher? Out of curiosity.
Lower. I would have gone lower. Yeah.
So you would have won.
I would have won.
Fucking idiot.
I win. There you go. Nah, joking. Fine, we'll have a draw. We'll have a draw. McGinley, thanks for answering the phone because Ryan Fitzsimons didn't answer the phone.
That's the first draw in
No
history.
bother. I hope the rest of the show was good.
Yeah. Right, mate. We'll catch you later on.
Cheers, boys.
Bye.
See you later.
Can't believe you shot out you winning it.
I just thought they were only 2 clean sheets. And I thought Gordon was a year older than he was, and I thought Christie had 1 more assist than he did. Shambles.
Right, that's us.
That was good. Enjoyed that.
Like-
2 phone-ins today. We're flying.
It is, aye. We should make that be
Yeah.
constant thing. Like, comment, subscribe, and also
Tell G4 Claims that we sent you.
yes.